Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this pattern. They've already done it. They were just not, they were just showing off. Normally people ask me how to draw the pattern. There's a little bit of I'm a little anal, there's a little bit of hiccup right there, and it shows up in your pattern. And he explained how he did it, and I couldn't really 100% understand, so I did it. And he used a little bit thicker lines, but mine came out pretty well. Now, I did not interactive fill tool, which I could on the next one, but it's pretty interesting pattern. A little difficult, but if we just follow a few guidelines and stay in the center of the page, and I'm going to make that a 4-inch circle. Now I'm going to go to, you've got to kind of do this in increments. I'm going to go to effects and contour. I'm going to contour to the inside. Well, first of all, I've changed my nudge factor to inches, or my pin. I'm going to make it 0.25 line. And I'm going to nudge 5 times at 0.25. So there'll be some space. Well, I don't need 5. I only need 3. So, well, you know what? I only need 2. So to get the 3. So the thing that did is that the black line is the same thickness as the white line. So you're contouring a 1.25 line down 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to, this is what I did differently than probably he did. I'm going to go to object. We probably, you know what, I probably should have done that before. Let me, I got to break the contour apart probably. Go up to object, break contour apart, and then I ought to be able to, I should have converted them to an outline. And then left click, right click. Sometimes you can do them all together. So that's what it is. This is still a group when you contour. So now I ought to be able to turn them all into an object and left click, right click, because you're going to want that. Now here's what I maybe did a little different than he did. I drew a 2-point line. I'm going to control D to duplicate it. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And I'm going to take my smart fill tool, set on really any color, and fill in those 3 and these 3. Now I can get rid of all this. And if you take your Alt key and hold down, you'll get all the circles and you can get rid of the lines. Now I'm going to take these, and so I don't have to break any curve apart because they're individually. I'm going to left click, right click. I am going to go ahead and group these together so I can make sure I get it on the nose. And there's probably a mathematical equation to nudge this down, but I'm just going to take it with a 2-point, with a 4-point cross and have it nudge or snap to, and then I'm going to weld it and I've got that line. So this was the part I was kind of having trouble with. I'm in the center of the page, Control D, and rotate it 90 degrees. And this isn't a square box. And I was thinking, if you take, you know what I'm going to do freehand. I'm going to go ahead and, I've got a little bit of jig there myself, a little bit of jiggle. So let's back up, see what I did wrong. I didn't get the lines exactly lined up. See it, you think you're there and then you move just a little bit with the mouse. So make sure you're, wow. He's got Snap 2 on, I'm using his file. Well, that's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn both these into a hairline. To me, it's a lot easier to see. Maybe I'll grab that one. Whoop, I grabbed them both. You know, somehow I'm off. One of my circles, let me back up here. One of my circles wasn't perfect. And I might have moved them. I'm going to quit saying that word. Sounds. So now I can ungroup these or break the curve apart. Go up to object, ungroup. I'm going to ungroup all, and then I could go and convert them to an outline and left click, right click. I might have just moved something minutely. And a lot of people have even commented, you know, most people when making a video would start over. And why? So here's another little trick. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. You know what? I'm going to move his out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and group this together. I could have went ahead and deleted those lines. Now let's fill these in now. And there's probably well, I know there's a mathematical, let's just see there. Parallel dimension tool. We need to put this bottom part to the top of that part. So we got 3.5 inches, which kind of makes sense because of the numbers we used. So if I just nudge 3.5, let's go ahead and make them clear. If I take these and nudge them down at 3.5, I didn't have to move them. Yeah, I must have just minutely moved the mouse a little bit. So weld those together, I'm going to hit P. Now I'm going to hit D to make a duplicate. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And this is what kind of threw me off because this isn't a perfect square. So I'm going to select them both. I'm going to get the shift tool and hold down the rectangle. So that's the outside line I need. And then we can go to contour to the inside, 0.125, and I'm going to go like 6 times. And that didn't work exactly. See, that line's a little bit off. Let's back up here. Let's just, maybe I did something wrong. Let's get the parallel dimension tool, and that's why I'd like, so that's 0.12, but if we bring out is 0.125, let's see the distance between them, 0.125. So I'm doing something a little fishy. You know, it'd be a lot better if I turned everything into a hairline. Now let's grab it. See, that line's just so much thinner. Let's grab that. See, I don't know why that's meeting. Well, these probably really do meet. Because if we go here and then extend, see, he draws in a long line and then extend that out. Yeah, it is going to work. But before I do anything, I'm going to get rid of these inside lines. So I'm going to take holding down the Alt key, and the Alt key is going to help you like kind of swim through there without touching the sides. Now, this needs to be one group, Control G. This one, let me move that up for a second. Move this back. And let's go to Object, break the contour apart. Let's go to Object. This doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to ungroup all, and then I'm going to group them together. Now let's bring this back and see if there's any kind of weld tool or anything that will help me. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to try back minus front. It helped me a little bit. It helped me cut out some lines, not all of them. But I find it easier now. I'm going to Control G to group that. Just use the Smart Fill tool. And I'm going to use blue again. And I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to hit that. See, that one was easy. Then I'm going to hit this. Well, that was too easy. Nope. So somewhere you know what? Maybe that did not help me. Yeah, that didn't help me. So back up and just have the two objects. Then take the Smart Fill tool and just, it's a little bit painstaking, but see, when you get there, bam. And then go here. I knew that looked funny a while ago. So I did not weld anything together. Whoop. I was trying to go back uphill. Okay. So we have that. I'm going to have to basically look at the pictures. So we really got that one done, except for now we need to do the exact same thing. And here's a little bit of, in just a second, will be a little bit of time saving on doing this. So you can get every little piece. And because I welded or made this all one object, I can take, well, I guess it didn't make it all out. Take this and weld it together. So you got rid of those lines. Now here's kind of the thing that really makes it easy. Because I'm working in the center of the page, Control D and rotate it 90 degrees and turn that one red and you're done. The red is going to be on top of the blue because we did that. Now just take, and I like this one a little better because my lines are a little bit thicker, but I'm going to make it, I'm going to go ahead and group it together, Control G, and let's make it 4 inches. And you know what, let's make it 2 inches because, you know, it's not a line anymore. It'll stay the same thickness. That looks pretty cool. Now, you can do it two ways. You could take away the outline and just have the colors. I kind of like the outline and see what happened. Now we got 2 inches. We're going to change our nudge factor to 2 inches. And normally you could do this right here. And this is going to give you a completely different pattern. But instead of doing that on the first one, Control D and mirror it, holding down the control button and mirror it. So now we got these loops. Then you can hit the plus key and hit it twice. And you can have as many as you want. And see, you could either do that or that, depending on what you want. Then I would grab both of them and hit the plus key twice, or Control D, take that monster and look at it. And before I forget, I really want to thank that person that emailed me. I love this pattern. I think it's really, really unique. But if you would grab all this now and hold down the Shift key and double click the rectangle, it'd put a rectangle around there and make it black. Well, evidently I didn't do it. Let me nudge it. Yeah, I didn't do it. Maybe I've got to group these together, but I don't think so. Hold down the Shift key and double click the rectangle tool and then make that black. And then go up to Object, Order, Back a Page. And it makes it look totally different. Then you can do stuff. You still got the black. I'm going to take away the outline on it. You still got the black. You could use the interactive fill tool, go to elliptical, and make this more like in the center. And, you know, you could put, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. I actually like the white. Anyway, I think that viewer, and see now you can kind of, the lines look black over here and they look white over here. I really appreciate that gentleman for sending me this. I would love to dive into more how you did it. but I think my way might be a pretty good way. Anyway, hope that helped. Thank you for watching.